Niggas ain't your niggas. That's what she said.
A billionaire. Call me Philly Collins, I feel a billionaire's in the air. I affiliate with Billy Gates, that's my pair. And John Millionaire is my consigliere. When I wear billionaire, boys club is more than care. I don't wear it cause for real, I wear it cause I'm for real. I see dead people. In the land of the free where the blacks enslaved. 3/5 of a man, I believe's the phrase. I'm 50% of Duce and it's debt free, yeah. 100% of Ace of Spade, worth half a beat. Rock Nation, half of that, that's my piece. 100% of title to bust it up with my G's. I ain't got a billion streams, got $1 billion.
You hear what the man said? Forbes has officially estimated that Jay-Z is worth $1 billion, which makes him the first official hip hop billionaire. I thought it was Dr. Dre, but apparently the percentages was wrong on the Apple deal. So shout out to Hove. But welcome to the Council on the Clutch podcast, episode number 21. I'm your boy Cal. Today I'm joined by Roy.
Yo,
SP.
it's your boy.
Q.
Salutations.
And if Dion was here, but we know
I'm not gonna be here.
we are not. It's gonna be. We know how that's gonna be every week. So let's go get started with the NBA Finals. At this point, they already played 2 games. So the series is 1-1. Toronto took the first game at home. Golden State snuck one out. You know, Toronto last night, they got another one. Well, not last night, the other night. And they play on Wednesday, game 3. What y'all think about the series so far? Who y'all got winning? Well, we already know who y'all got winning, never mind. But what y'all think about the series?
I was surprised that Toronto pulled that first game out. Clay hasn't been playing like I anticipated. Draymond has, though. I thought that he would play fairly well. He has. I guess a dark horse, you could say, at least in game 2, was DeMarcus Cousins. He did have a double-double. And he just came back from that injury. So I feel like that's what propelled the Warriors to that game 2 win. And then obviously we know how Siakam carried it in game 1 as far as leading the Raptors to the victory as far as scoring wise anyway. I feel like Kawhi played pretty well on both ends. So about where I anticipated it at. Still Warriors in 6. So
All right, Roy.
Unfortunately, number 2 still playing pretty good basketball, but I got the Warriors in 5, hopefully. I really don't want KD to get another ring, but hopefully Clay and Steph can, overshadow KD's success with their success.
Is this a licensing thing?
Yeah, team light skin. But I'm a little upset though, because my man, I ain't really light skin. I'm more dark skinned than anybody, but it'd be funny because Drake is really like, it's funny laughing at Drake because he really be emotionally attached to the game like he playing.
He was. You can tell he was that kid that really
was trash at sports.
Yeah, and he embraces it too way too much.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
yeah,
Q, your Warriors in 3 is off, so you're gonna move that up to Warriors in 5.
Nah, I still got Warriors in 3. Don't worry how it's gonna happen. Nah, but I think my actual answer is Warriors in 6.
You never answered it. You said 3. You just kept moving.
Okay, my bad. Well, my official answer is 6. I didn't think they was going. Toronto was gonna get game 1. I thought they were gonna win game 2. But like SB said, Siakam came and he balled out. But I think Golden State gonna win both these home games. Toronto gonna take game 5 at home, and Golden State gonna close it out in 6 at home.
Last game in the old arena.
Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna play out. I don't see it going to 7, and I still think Toronto gonna sneak another one in, just because the Warriors they play down to their opponents, and now should have the team hurt. So it's real iffy. Like if Clay don't play next game, Toronto gotta take that. Even still with like Boogie, he played pretty decent, but if Clay don't play, and even Looney, because he been putting in solid time off the bench, if like all of their hurt people don't play, then Toronto got to take that game. If they don't, they definitely done.
Yeah, because we know Kyle Lowry is not gonna get the job done. So
Who?
exactly, that man Kyle Lowry has not been showing up at all. But y'all got any more comments on the NBA?
Yeah, what about Siaka? You think he can find another night like game one?
Nope.
All right. Well,
That ain't him.
nah.
He had a solid game, but that ain't like he a 20 point a night guy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I saw he averaged like 11 for his career, 11 points for his career,
Yeah.
and 16 for this specific season. So that was a career night for him, but that ain't nothing that he gonna just be running up on a regular.
I'm gonna go out here on a limb and say that Draymond, or it's either gonna be Draymond or Steph that give the MVP. But I'm leaning toward Draymond.
Draymond can have a triple double every game, and he's still gonna give it to Steph. You already know how that's gonna work.
Nah, I agree with SP.
They gonna get it on the Steph, man. Hopefully the Raptors win. So
I hope they give it to Clay, man. Since he can't get the super max, at least give him that.
Finals MVP. You play 2 games. Final MVP.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Hey, strange.
If Andre Iguodala can get it, then anybody can get it.
Well, we know why he got that. But moving off of basketball, I want to go over to hip hop real quick. So recently, Lord Jamar, who's a older rapper fellow, pretty much been throwing a lot of shade at Eminem. He's been pretty much making a lot of points of saying black folk don't really bang with Eminem like that. He was like, niggas don't get ready to go to the club, listen to Eminem. Niggas ain't riding through the street, listen to Eminem. And he pretty much said that the hype of Eminem in his career is pretty much because he's white. So how do y'all feel about that statement? Do y'all think Eminem's career has been hyped because of his being white?
I ain't a music person, so I'm gonna probably sound like a hater, but I 100% agree. I mean, I've listened to a couple Eminem songs, but it ain't like I'm going out here on Apple Music looking for an Eminem playlist. If it come on, everybody gonna vibe to it. But he got bars, but I definitely think his legacy was hyped because of the movie, and then he's white, 100%.
SP?
Yeah, I piggyback off Rory on that one. To be honest with you, I mean, lyrically, he's a beast, but the movie definitely propelled his legacy. Just because when you think about Eminem, like Rory said, it's not really somebody that you looking for as far as like Apple Music playlist or a Spotify playlist or like randomly playing Eminem music. I don't know. That's your average person isn't doing that. So to say that, I mean, you have some people that say that he's a GOAT of rap. So to put him at such a high pedestal, is crazy to me. And obviously, I think that part of that is his ethnicity for sure. Yeah, it's about yeah. I agree. Simply,
Right. Oh, go ahead. Go my bad.
no, I was gonna say simply short. I agree.
All right, Q.
I think his hype. A lot of his hype does come off the fact that he's white, but how to put it? I don't know. I just if he was black, I don't know how he would have been taken because what he raps about is, especially back in the day, which built him up was the weird shit. Like y'all know what he was rapping about back then. So
I mean, it's a lot of black rappers that do that, but don't nobody know about them.
But
yeah,
see,
because they're not
yeah,
because they're not one the time doing that shit now is different than doing it back then because there's a shortage of white rappers back then. There was a couple out, but
No,
what he
came
was
at a
rapping.
time where there weren't even a lot of white. He came at a time where it was only him for real. You gotta think
Nah,
about it.
because what's the name was back then too,
99.
huh?
His first album dropped in 99, like 99, 2000.
It was white rappers back then.
Who?
I'll let you know later on in the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, you lost that one, Q.
Nah, not yet. Let me Google it first, and then I'll let you
Nah,
know.
he looking like Anthony Joshua on that.
Anywho, he I don't know. I think like SB said, rapping lyrically, he's one of the top people. But I don't I don't know, buddy. Whoever you said the dude was that was throwing shade at him, I don't think that was justified to come at him like that because M got hits, like a lot of hits. So even though people ain't checking for him, or your average person ain't checking for him, your average person only checks for what's popping currently. They not going off of their knowledge of music because they don't know music. They just know what's in the club and what their friends and social media are talking about. So they not out looking for him because he's not the name in the streets right now.
Who was the guy that came for him though? I missed that part. I heard Cal say it, but I won't really, you know.
I don't know who that is.
Dude named
He
Lil
said some
Kendrick
old
Lamar.
old rapper.
Lil
He's not
what?
really old, but he was in a group like back in the early '90s.
They be hating. He's just trying to get
It
some
sounds
clout.
like I was about to say he sounded like a nigga trying to get his name out there.
Yeah, that's all. He's trying to get on social media because ain't none of his music playing no more.
Yeah, but I don't think. I do think, like I said, M's legacy is hype because he was white, but I don't think that was like solely why he's so high up on the pedestal. I think literally that he can actually rap, so that what kept him there for so long, and that's why he's revered as one of the greatest to ever do it. It's because of the fact that he's white, but he can also rap, and there's a shortage of that. So he's in that class by himself. Roberts.
Um, I feel like it's a combination of what everybody's saying. One,
Hey, y'all get ready for this one.
man, too. No, he like M. Like if you break it down lyrically, M is one of the dopest lyricists that we got. But at the same time, his favorite rapper is Method Man, and a lot of people don't give Method Man the rapping credit, but Method Man be on that stuff. Like Method Man can spit too. So it's funny that when you're talking about people ain't on the same stuff, like you got black rappers that's kind of on the same wave that Eminem was back in the day. You got Tech Nine, you got Hopkins, but don't nobody really check for them unless you get that core fan base and the people that know you, right? And most of those people are Eminem fans, but the masses aren't really checking for them. So anytime you go back and listen to or watch any old interviews when people are talking about, oh, when Eminem first came out, this, that, they always say, yo, when I found out he was white, or I didn't know a white boy can spit like that. I think that's like another thing, like the hype of it is because he's white. Because even in the old interviews, Dr. Dre's like, yo, for a white boy, he can spit. 50, like, oh man, you my favorite white boy. All those things, anytime somebody's references him, a lot of the times they reference him being white. But skill wise, he's there. But at the end of the day, the whole GOAT thing, just because you can rhyme a lot of words really fast don't make you the GOAT. But that's one of those things where if you're gonna be the greatest of all time, that's all subjective anyway. Nobody's ever gonna have the same greatest of all time when it comes to rap. But honestly, I think it is. I think him being white does help out a lot, especially because the lack of white rappers at the time when he came out. You had all the little white boys and girls, and most people that go to concerts are usually suburban white kids. Most people who actually bought albums back in the day were like suburban white people. So they kind of say, "Oh, Eminem, that was their introduction to rap." So they will have higher, like, hold him to a higher pedestal than they would a Jay-Z or a Method Man or Biggie or Pop because that's their first introduction to rap. So I think the him being white is a big factor of it, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that he trashed at all because up until the Eminem show, I mean, well, pretty much Eminem show back, those are dope albums. Everything after that, when he sobered up, not saying we want him on drugs, but the I was on good. But at the end of the day, I think he had valid points, but I think the person who said it, like Roy said, it comes off a little bit. Well, I think Q said it more so. Sounds like he's kind of hating just because he's in the industry and his music hasn't been played 20 plus years. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think the deciding, in my opinion anyway, I think the deciding factor to answer this question, as far as a basic answer, is if, and Q said it earlier, but he didn't really expand on it. If Eminem were black, would he receive this same clout? Would he have had the same trajectory as far as his legacy? I believe the answer to that is ultimately no, because I feel like, and Roy brought up a good point as far as the 8 Mile, that propelled that legacy a lot. And I personally feel like if he were black, is a high likelihood he would never even have gotten that opportunity because his story would have been more commonplace
Yeah.
in the masses.
Yeah, like when you talk about lyrically and the stuff you rap about, you got Tech Nine and Hopkins. So for our listeners, if y'all don't know who those people are, those are black guys who kind of sound like OM. So y'all listen to their stuff, y'all can see what I'm talking about. But the fact that you don't know who they are proves the point that we're talking about. And being white and talking about the stuff he was talking about at that point was like a shock. Like, oh, what in the world? That white boy crazy. And then like the whole thing you said with the movie blew it up too. So you got people who weren't really rap fans taking their sons and daughters to the movie. Oh, it's a good movie, great story, and let me go ahead and check this guy out. Um, and it's just one of those things where Eminem's one of those untouchable people in hip hop. We can't say he
Facts.
trash, or because everybody gonna get mad at you. You don't even gotta say he trash, but you gotta say, if you say you don't like him, somebody gonna be mad about it. He's one of those untouchable folks. So that's a big reason why Lord Jamar getting a lot of this backlash too, because Eminem's one of those people that you just kind of leave alone.
I just can't stand when people bring up Eminem's sales when it comes to defending his legacy and his greatness.
Dog, when you do the research, it was suburban white kids buying music back in the day when we was on LimeWire.
Y'all,
Everybody
y'all,
was
got,
out
y'all got,
buy the
y'all got
music.
to y'all got to realize, Cal in the industry. So these are facts.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely talking from experience.
These are
Personal
actual
reference.
He probably
Yeah,
talked to Carrie about it before the
I was gonna
show.
say he went into the vault that they got in the music vault that we can't get in.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
Him
so
and Carrie talked about it and they discussed it. So this everything he's
Exclusive
saying.
resources.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah. This
yeah,
TMZ official.
nah, man.
TMZ can't even get these numbers.
Ah
all,
man.
this, all this information is readily available on Google and YouTube.
Nah. Nah. I just looked it up and it didn't. It did none of what you said came up. The
Nah,
article ain't even come up about the guy that said what you said. So he must have said that at an
in,
industry party or something.
insider information.
That's wild, bro.
Anyway, Q, don't
Sheesh.
you have something you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm joking. So I'm gonna just get right down to it. Ain't no long drawn out questions about it or anything. How do y'all feel about people who aren't black using the word nigga? I'll go ahead and start it off just because I got the topic moved around specifically for me. Uh, I never understood where it came from that Mexican people could use the word nigga. I don't know where it came from. Just growing up, it was just one of those things that everybody was just all right with. So I was just like, huh, all right. But I ain't never understand where that came from. But that's just kind of one of the things. It is what it is. But how do y'all feel about like other non-white, like Asian people, or that's pretty much it. Ain't nobody else. So yeah, like Asian people, or even Mexican people, or Spanish-speaking people. So I won't get in trouble. How do y'all feel about those folk individuals using the word nigga?
Hey, chill. No Kawhi jokes right now. We're not talking about basketball.
I had a laugh, man. I was laughing off. Oh, I forgot I had my mic muted. So, but I can start that off. I feel like I don't like when anybody say nigga. I don't even like when white people say Jamaican. So it I feel like if you're not black, it's one of those things because old heads don't want nobody saying that at all. Sorry, grandma. Word, grandma. But at the end of
Hey,
the
I'm
day,
definitely gonna send this clip to her just so she can curse you out. She probably won't curse you out, but
he had valid points. But no,
yeah.
but I feel like when Q was saying, I used to always get mad when like the Spanish kids talking about some nigga this, nigga that. But one, you don't even sound right saying it. Like I don't like that. I just don't like when like they don't have make your own thing, get your own thing. Like we've been through some things, and you know we try to take that word and use it for ourselves, and then like keep the white folks out of this. But you got the Mexicans, the Chinese, and all that. It all boils down to when people say acting black. Like how other cultures, when they really into hip hop and everything, and they want to hang around us, they quote unquote act black. That's where this all comes from. You're not seeing like a regular. It sounds racist. A regular Asian or a regular Mexican sitting out here just saying nigga this, nigga that, nigga this.
Hey,
But
it's okay to be racist during this topic because there's no other way to really explain it.
say it without, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Hey,
seeing a
express
stereotypical.
yourself, folk.
Yeah.
you're not seeing a stereotypical person of their culture just saying nigga randomly. So I mean, I feel like they think that it's just one of those things where they just too comfortable. Like if they're around us, but then you see a lot of times when it's just them amongst themselves saying nigga this, nigga that. I feel like one,
Besides 6ix9ine, because I feel like he just used it just at all in any time.
yeah, that nigga. Him and Lil Pump, both of them. But
Oh, he said I don't listen to his music at all, so I didn't know. I thought he was white.
no, Lil Pump like Venezuelan or something like that. He from south of Mexico. So
Uh,
yeah.
I didn't know
But,
that. But anyway,
yeah.
continue.
But yeah, my whole thing behind that Spanish folks, people that I personally know that are Spanish, when they say nigga, I be like, but I ain't gonna sit there and be that woke person. Like, hey, watch what you say around me. But at the end of the day, I really personally don't like when people are just sitting there saying nigga this, nigga that, and you're not black.
SP, because I know your answer is going to be interesting.
Well, my brother, when it comes down to it, and
Because Ramadan just ended, and the matriculation of all salutations through the apocalypse of the appropriation expeditiously.
in Ghana,
pretty.
we
It's
don't use
pretty.
this word, brother.
It's pretty basic with me when it comes to this topic. They shouldn't. As far as the original question, or original question, as far as whites and Hispanics using it, whites obviously, I don't like that. I don't think it is something that shouldn't be done. Hispanics, I believe now, I'm on the same boat with Hispanics. I personally believe it should only be used by African
You know
Americans.
what?
Um,
You know what?
say what?
You know what with Hispanics?
I'm on the same boat with the Hispanics.
Yo, every podcast he says something, don't even realize what he said.
Hey, look, it's it ain't 11 o'clock yet, man. I'm trying to draw these analogies. Nah, but that's outstanding. But yeah, as far as Hispanic brethren, I believe the reason that they feel a passage of righteousness to use it is because of our shared likeness as far as being minorities, and not only being minorities, but being looked at as the lower class minorities by the majority, which would be
White
Caucasians.
folk.
So I think that's why they feel like they can get a pass for saying it. I don't agree, but that's just the logic in my hypothesis as far as why they feel the right to use it.
It's just one of them things that's been around for, I'm assuming, for a while. Because, like I said, ever since I've been hearing the word nigga, it's been coming from black people and Hispanic folk. And like Cal said, I don't. Most times when I hear it coming from Hispanic people, either they're half black or they come up around black people like totally. I'm pretty sure people in Mexico not going around saying nigga, this nigga that. It's just the who you're around, and like I said, for the individual that were like who have black mothers or black fathers and Hispanic mothers or fathers, being a mix or biracial, they get a pass is because in my book, and it's always been this for society. If you have black, you black because that's just what it is.
Except for logic,
So,
though, right?
well, no, he's white. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. But that's neither here nor there. Uh, yeah, but like I was saying, I'm pretty sure you ain't gonna go to Mexico and just hear a bunch of people saying nigga this, nigga that, just off some random stuff. Or you go to China and you start hearing that. Only time you're hearing that there, more than likely, is when somebody either trying to make a joke, be funny, or they being racist. One of the two. It's not like in their everyday conversation like it is around here. But it just, like I said, it just depends on who you grew up around and where you grew up. That kind of dictates how you use the word. Because I know some Mexican people that I've never heard say the word nigga, and it's like, but it's more so just because that wasn't what they came up around. So they just don't say it because they look at it at how most people with sense look at it as it being a disrespectful term and all that stuff. So I don't know. Nixon, what you got to say? You almost white, so
Wow, incredible. Incredible. Nah, I don't think if you're not African American, you shouldn't say it at all. But unfortunately, our culture is we've grown accustomed to embracing each other, saying, my nigga.
We
It
too.
get a little racial when you hear the. But I mean, we all been athletes and been in locker rooms most of our lives, so it's not common that see somebody from the other race say it. But I understand why older people get offended when anybody says it, because the term to them, it was back then, it was a violent term. Like it meant negativity in your life. And then I guess the hip hop culture embraced it, and we look at each other as like that's my brother. But I try not to say it openly or too much, just because I know how offensive the word really is. But sometimes even you just get caught up in the context of conversation and it just happens. But I ain't gonna let nobody outside of African American community call me that at no point, jokingly, whatever. Heck, it was crazy. I was at the casino in AC this weekend before the game. The day before, not the morning of, the day before the game,
Had to
and
clear that up.
a
I got
white
to make sure
male.
you're good.
Yeah, to let that be known. You know what I'm saying? But a white male was at the table with me, and we was playing blackjack, and everybody was winning or whatnot. And he said, "I almost said my," but he didn't. I stopped him. He said my, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, what you mean?" And he was like, "Not like." I said, "Nah, don't even say it at all, bro. Like I don't know you." You know, um, a younger me probably would have got out of character, but it ain't worth me losing, anything at that point. But he didn't say the word, but I heard him say my, so I know for a fact that he didn't said it before, because he tried to explain to himself, and then he ended up apologizing about it. But it was just crazy, like how it happened like that.
Well,
Man, I don't know.
it's not. Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I just about to say it's an interesting thing. It's funny because I seen something the other day where it was it ain't got nothing to do with this, but as far as the people of color situation, how a lot of the times, a lot of the rights and stuff that people of color have gotten have come on the backs of black folk. But then you have certain situations where other people of color get caught up, or they still, I forgot what it was. It was, I want to say either, I forgot what the situation was, but it was another person of color coming doing something negative towards a black person or a black woman. It was two women, I forgot, but it's just basically saying that we're the all the people of color aren't necessarily on the same level. If that makes sense, it's like
Oh,
all
just like we do the light skin, dark skin back in the day. but
yeah,
you but equate that to the races.
yeah. It's just like you're not in the same boat per se to use SP's term. Uh,
Our struggles
I
are
don't know.
different. Our struggles are
Yeah,
different.
exactly. We didn't. Nobody went through the stuff that we went through. Everybody had their struggles, but nobody's struggle was the struggle that our parents, grandparents, ancestors, all the way back went through. Nobody else went through that.
Like y'all came over here.
Hispanics, yeah, but the Hispanic people didn't go through that.
Y'all voluntarily came over here for freedom.
Yeah,
We got
and I don't know who else counts as a person of color besides Hispanic people.
Asians. Pretty
Do they
much
really?
anybody that is not black. I mean, sorry, anybody that's not white is still. I
Uh,
wouldn't say colored, but because you know how they say Asian when they be like black, brown, or yellow. It's
oh yeah,
color
true.
outside of
Technically,
white.
yeah.
So I mean,
But yeah, but nah, hell no. Like I don't. I mean, they grew up with getting. There was it the firstborn daughters killed or some shit like that.
we talking
And
about
that, and
Asians.
that yeah.
I think that's like a specific group of Asians, but
Well, nevertheless, that was a little rough, but it don't compare to any of that compares to what we had to go through as a people. Thus being a lot of like I'm saying a lot of the rights and especially for like women and stuff, a lot of those rights that people of color have gotten have come on the backs of African American folk. But then you got certain individuals, especially I don't know, you see it a lot more with Chinese people or not with Asian people trying to be white and just like the little Asian chick that kicked all the black dudes out the Airbnb the other day.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I seen
Yeah,
that on Twitter. That was wild.
yeah, Asian lady. She had rented I guess a couple rooms in her house out on Airbnb to them. It was like 4 or 5 black dudes, and she ended up trying to kick. Well, not trying to. She actually did, but she ended up kicking them out because she was saying they were having a party, even though it was just them there, and they weren't having a party. And then they was just like they kind of got to the point where they was like, all right, we're gonna leave. It is what it is. And then she was standing in the door, and they was trying to get privacy so they can leave because somebody had just got out the shower and shit. And then she ended up uh, one of them was like, it says you can fit 5 people here. She was like, it's 4 rooms. But he was like, yeah, 4 rooms and a sofa. And then she was like, which one of y'all monkeys sleeping on the sofa? And I was like,
I just got mad from your explanation.
hey, bro. And I was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, she said it won't no hesitation. Like, it won't no, she came smooth out. She didn't say it. And then I'm like, oh, snap. Like, try to retract it or none. She said it like she was just a full blown white lady in the 60s. And I was sitting, I listened to it. And I was like, bro, she wilding. Like, she was lucky she had the right group of individuals there because if it would have been the wrong set of people, she might have got fucked up in there.
I mean, yeah, think
Off
about
the
it too.
strength.
A lot of people try to equate wealth with whiteness too. So
Yeah,
if she
yeah,
got bread like that, what she renting out 5 room, well, a 4 bedroom, she
yeah,
probably got some type of bread, and she's in that circle, and
yeah. So, but it's like those type of situations where you you're considered a person of color just like we are. Y'all went through the same stuff. White people have discriminated against y'all just like they discriminated against us and everybody else. But then you still pull some stuff like that. So it's kind of like, but yeah. Overall, I just don't say nigga if you ain't black, unless you like half black or something. Then I don't necessarily care. Again,
Walla.
logic doesn't count.
I would say
Yeah, he
Walla.
does not. He does not count. He's white.
Well, that sums that up, and it's on Roy.
I do like saying nigga though.
I swear, because sometimes when you have a long day and you be like, my nigga, what's good? But it's wrong. We shouldn't say that. Sorry, grandma.
It, it, it's just one of them things. It kind of is what it is, man. We just know how to live with it.
Yeah. But now let's flip the switch a little bit. Something that I like to enjoy talking about. Do boys really need their fathers in their lives to turn out right? Now, before I say that, I think all boys need a male figure. They need a circle. It never just takes one dad. But you do need mentors and coaches, grandparents, whatever it may be. In my case, it was my grandfather. He was my male role model, and all his friends, they mentored me, good, bad, or indifferent. I turned out all right. Um, so like I don't think you need your dad, but in your life, but you definitely need some form of male role model or just some type of somebody you can look up to and learn how to be a man and see what it takes to be a man in day-to-day life, whether it be a good coach. I had a couple good coaches growing up. Heck, Coach Mo, Dion Pops, he was a coach from track, life, whatever. I seen him be a dad, or a father, so I knew what that was. Then a lot of my friends, they parents, your dad was always around, so I seen it. But then my grandpa, he made sure I was straight whenever I had to learn something. Um, so you don't need your dad to be successful, but I think you do need, like I said, a male figure or a role model so you can make sure you're learning what it takes to be a man, or in coaches especially. What's y'all take on that?
Well, I'll chime in because I have my dad. So speaking for that side of it, I agree with everything Rory just said. You don't necessarily need your biological father in your life, but you gotta. It's most of the time. I'm not gonna say every case. Most of the time, you need, like you said, some type of male figure in your life to help you know how to learn how to become a man because it's only a certain amount of things your moms or your sisters or your grandmother or uh, aunts, whatever, female wise, that can teach you about being a man and the things you need to do, this, that, and the third. So you need somebody somewhere that'll help you, guide you in the right, even if it's not even adults, like older, just friends or older friends or just people that you know that can kind of lead you in that direction as well.
just because it might be certain situations where you never been in that situation, and one of your homeboys did because he got his dad there or stepdad or whomever. So just having that male figure in your life or the male influence, so to say, is I think is important. Finn.
Yeah, I mean, y'all pretty much covered everything. There ain't really much more that I could say on that. Uh, Obviously, the answer is no. Um, but like everyone said, you just need that. Not to be cliche, but takes a village, and that's pretty much what you need as far as that male influence, that male role modelship in your life to lead you down the right path.
Is role modelship a real word?
Nah,
Okay.
It's a
I was
word right now.
rolling.
SP just dropped it. So
All right. I didn't know. I was confused for a second. All
I
right.
just put in the entry with dictionary to see if we can get that
Like role
transition, but
modelship, it's like a relationship, and
But
it's
with
like
role models.
it's like a
I,
mentorship, but it's
I
like
wasn't even trying to let that news out, but Q done
My
screwed
bad.
it
My
up.
bad. We can edit that up.
it's crazy. Q out here dropping the bomb and ain't even letting niggas know.
exactly. But yeah, to kind of piggyback on what everybody said, kind of the same boat as Roy. My personal take on the fathers being in boys' lives, I feel like if you have a child, you should be in their life, unless it's like something where you legally can't be in their life type thing. But at the end of the day, if the boy doesn't have his father, as y'all said, there's other ways with mentors and things like that where they can still, get on that straight path. Because at the end of the day, single mothers pretty strong. So a lot of the people that actually do well in life actually come from single parent homes, things like that.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a deadbeat, man. I'm a deadbeat.
This dude,
This guy.
man. So do we
Nah, I'm just kidding.
do we need to send
Let's
this over to
let's,
North
let's make
Carolina?
sure the folks at
I'm
home
about to
know
say, boy, I
that's a
just seen
lie.
you drive 7 hours so your mama could see your boy and then take him back home.
With a whole nother
Yeah, so don't act like
too.
that now.
So
And, and then tell us
Yeah.
until you was on the way
Now
back
my
home. That's a whole different situation.
no,
Moving on to the
my
NFL.
daddy, that nigga deadbeat. But I ain't gonna get into that because I don't like to bring light to that.
I would say Roy.
Nah,
Roy
I'm
too.
gonna chill. I'm gonna
No, I'm
chill
joking.
because I'm starting to. Huh?
I ain't
We
adding
got no,
nobody else.
hey,
Yeah, we got no
we
time.
don't
I'm
got
gonna
enough
get off
time.
my
We don't got enough
soapbox.
time.
But that nigga, oh, he trash.
All right, and once again, thanks for Anchor for that sponsorship ad. So we're gonna move on to our way too early NFL divisional picks. So we're gonna go around real quick and ask everybody who they have winning in each division. We're gonna put this on wax, so when the season's over, we're gonna know if you're right or wrong. So we can go ahead and start with Q. Who do you have winning each division?
All right. For AFC East, I got New England, obviously. AFC South, that was a tough one. I was kind of between Houston and Indy, but if what's the name, Luck stay healthy, I'm gonna go with Indy. Sorry, SP.
Andrew Luxdale.
What
Okay, my bad.
if AFC North? I'm gonna go with Baltimore just because I don't want Cleveland to win. AFC West, I'm gonna go with KC. NFC East, I'm gonna go with Philly just because I don't believe Washington could hold on and the Giants. And I'm obviously not picking Dallas. So Philly, NFC North, I'm gonna go with Chicago again just because their defense is spectacular. NFC South, I'm still go with New Orleans. I kind of think Carolina might do a little decent if Cam is healthy, but
Cam Newton healthy.
yeah, exactly. But nah, New Orleans there, and then NFC West, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I don't really think anybody else can do much. Seattle, I don't know. Russell is too busy being an excellent father and husband, so I don't think they're gonna do a whole lot. And that's all my picks. And I'm about to leave, so I will see you niggas next week. Thank you everybody
You
for
said niggas.
tuning in. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Council in the Clutch, and No, I'm joking. All right,
Sorry,
gentlemen.
sorry, Grandma.
All right, Kenfolk.
SP, who you got, man?
As far as the division winners for the NFL, we can start with the NFC. NFC North, I got the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers will bounce back this year, and surprise a lot of folks. As far as the NFC South, I got the Panthers. I like a couple of the additions that they made, especially Gerald McCoy down there on the line. That help he'll help that linebacker, that nice linebacking core they got out. The secondary is still suspect in my opinion, but hey, that's just me. NFC East, I hate to do it, but I got Dallas. Um, and then obviously the Rams in the West. Now, as far as the AFC, I think it's gonna be a couple surprises. Obviously, the obvious not surprise would be in the South. You got the Houston Texans uh, taking that division. Then you got I would say the second obvious one would be the Patriots in the East. Then you got more than likely the Chiefs winning the West, and the Browns I got in the North as the dark horse. I'm gonna put my money with Vegas with that one.
Who you got, Roy?
SP, I appreciate you picking my Cowboys. We are definitely going to win the NFC East. In the North, I want to say Green Bay gonna do something, but Chicago ain't showed me a reason to pick against them, so I'll take Chicago in the North. In the South, I don't think the Saints can do what they did last year, but I kind of want the Panthers to be successful. But I'm gonna go with the Saints. And I like the Bucks, but when they got how they did Gerald McCoy got to kind of rub me the wrong way. NFC West, uh, the Rams, but that's just because they gonna be a wash because the rest of the division trash. AFC, y'all know I kind of like what the Browns is doing, um, but it's the Browns, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Steelers or the Ravens. I can't even pick one yet, but I'll go with the Steelers. Even though I think Lamar Jackson, if he can figure out how to throw the ball and they put the offense in his hands, the Ravens would be all right because their defense still good, especially adding Earl Thomas. AFC East, I'm not gonna pick against the Patriots until Brady leaves, so Patriots. AFC South, I don't want to say this out loud, but I like the Texans. And then the AFC West, Kansas City, but I'm gonna be rooting for the Chargers to have some success. But as long as the Raiders and Broncos don't win, I'll be happy.
Dang, shade.
Big time, big time.
Yeah. So all my picks I picked with my feelings, not my football
Nah, ain't no
knowledge.
disclaimer.
So
We gonna judge you about these
I might
picks.
be all wrong. Hey, I was about to say I might be all wrong. I'm gonna start off with the AFC. For the North, I got the Ravens. For the South, I got the Jaguars. For the East, I got the Dolphins. For the West, I got the Chargers. For the NFC, for the North, I got the Bears. For the South, I have the Bucks. For the East, I got the Redskins. And for the West, I really don't care. I mean, I don't think.
Damn,
Yeah, I really don't care.
you sure that's with your feelings? You must feel that low on your team,
I
man.
mean, Joe Flacco was starting quarterback, so I mean, hey, not too much you can do with
Hey
that.
man, he's Super Bowl champ.
I mean, so is Trent Dilford. What you mean?
That's crazy because that's immediately the first name I had in my mind that you was about to say. I'm like, watch him say
I
Trent
mean,
Dilfer.
hey, don't mean nothing just because you're Super Bowl winning quarterback. It just mean you was on the team.
I hear you, man.
All right, so this week, Commissioner Adam Silver of the NBA, he was bringing up some topics and suggestions about how to keep the regular season interesting because a lot of people just be taking game off for quote unquote load management and just not giving it all. So he's been thinking about having some kind of tweaking the regular season schedule since around All-Star break most players don't really play. The players who don't make it, they go on vacation. The players who actually go, they kind of half-heartedly play through the game. So he's been talking about trying to implement some soccer style things where uh there could be a mid-season play-in game, a preseason sorry, not mid-season play-in, but a preseason playoff tournament a mid-season tournament and then possibly playoff to get into the playoffs, kind of like baseball style. So he's trying to implement. He's doing some research, not trying to implement it yet, but he's doing some research about how to get these things kind of the best, where he's not really taking too much away from the advertisers or taking action for too much from the players. Um, do y'all feel like a format change will help out with the NBA at all?
Yeah, I do. Um, I think it will help out as far as making the regular season games between, let's say, the beginning of the season. Well, let's say like November, December, January, all the, prior to the All Star break, I guess you could say. Um, from 1 month in, I think the games would be more interesting, especially if you add that mid season title, and those games leading up to that point are predicate whether or not you'll have the opportunity to play in that tournament. I think it'll make a change. It'll make it because anytime I feel like you put the pressure on the athletes or you make the stakes higher, then it's gonna lead to more entertainment or better entertainment. I guess I could say.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like you got to get the players that want to play though. That's gonna be the tough part because it's kind of like at this point it sounds gimmicky because at the end of the day, NBA players are just trying to make it to the end of the season. They're trying to make it to the playoffs. But I personally like out of all those options, I like the postseason play in. I like that better. Like you take the
Yeah,
closest records of let's say the teams that's borderline eight, just had them play like a quick little single elimination tournament. Whoever wins get in. That'd be dope because you would have saw like the Lakers possibly try to get a bid, this year. Um, so they say when certain teams are good, the NBA is good. Same with the NFL. So I think that'd be dope. Like if you would have saw the possibility of LA somehow squeaking in there, I'm be a little biased, but Sacramento squeaking in there, or whoever was close on the East Side. Um, Even though that team will probably lose, granted, but it's still that hype that you don't have right now. It's just, all right, we already know who ain't gonna make it pretty much before the last week's over. You know, let's get ready for the playoffs. What you think, Roy?
Um, I kind of like the play-in form, but I also, baseball, well, minor league baseball at least, they use it kind of like a split season system where they play the first half of the season and then you can clinch a playoff. If you win the division in the first half of the season, the records reset for the second half of the season, and then that's also the playoffs or the playoff seedings are given out that way. So I think that could be something that the NBA could use that would be kind of clever. Instead of having a tournament like All Star Break or whatever, they could literally just, hey, whoever has the best division record at before All Star Break, those teams are locked into the playoffs. Records reset for the second half of the season, and then you fill out the rest of the playoff seeding based off of those teams. So even if you win the first half of the season, you still playing for playoff seeding in the second half, but at least you'll be in the playoffs regardless, whether it's the eighth seed or
Yeah,
whatever.
I was gonna say. I thought you were saying like lock in already because I was gonna say, yo, with teams who make that big trade, that might hurt or help
Yeah, no, that's why I said
when they make that big
you
acquisition.
can't
Yeah,
lock in your position, but you can guarantee a spot in the playoffs. So say for instance the Spurs, we win in the first half of the season, we go like 21 and 10, whatever. We win the division, but the records reset. Now in the second half of the season, hell, we go 0 and 40, but we still gonna be in the playoffs. But the seeding will be based off of our 0 and 40 record, so that'll clearly put us in the eighth spot. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But then everybody else,
Yeah,
the other seven spot or the other four spots will be up for grabs. And if the same team wins twice, the second place in that division will make the playoffs based off of whoever, based off of playoff seed.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that could work to keep teams interested because that way you really got to play both halves of the season.
and you can stop the
Tanking.
yeah, because they tried it this year and they gave like the odds. They kind of did like the new formula where top three teams had the 14%.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just knew the Knicks was gonna win.
Yeah.
Win the lottery to get Zion. Meanwhile, every like three teams had 14%. Don't really quite work like that. So, I mean, numbers don't work that way. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, every time something new happens, you gotta get used to it. But I do think the tournaments could help out, depending on where you place them.
All right, we about to wrap the show up. So as we come to a close, let us get into this. What's some wild summer predictions y'all got? I'm gonna drop the first one. Rick Ross finally gonna drop Porter to Miami too, cause I'm still waiting on that jump. Um, and Trump gonna get impeached sometime this summer, probably in August.
Trump definitely not getting impeached.
Nah, he not. Wishful thinking. Bro, over
Yeah,
in the UK making an ass of himself.
that's of no surprise.
It's not. Y'all president though.
Who's president?
Y'all boy,
I ain't vote for the man.
prove it.
I don't think he can do that legally.
All right.
Not legally.
You see what happened last time when Obama we got reelected? People was trying to prove their vote.
My
See,
wild
that
summer
worked out.
prediction. Haha Davis, his new single that he just dropped, that joint gonna go gold.
I'm lost.
I heard him drop a single, but I don't think it's gonna go good. You said wow, never mind.
Oh yeah, wow, it is a wild, but wow. Gold ain't that hard to do though.
That's my point. Oh, the take. I mean, shit. He already got what, a couple million followers on it. I don't know what his Instagram following count is, but I'm sure it's over 1 million. So you got to counter that in, and then know what I'm saying, people listening to the song more than one time. That counts as more than one stream, bro. It's gonna add up.
But it take like 1350 streams for one sale, and yeah, 1350 for one sale, and then you got to make 500,000 for gold. That's a lot of streams. He gonna have to be pushing it.
Yeah,
I don't have no
Yeah.
faith in that, so
Yeah, that's a lot of numbers. I ain't even heard. I ain't even know. So
I'm gonna go listen to it. Duval had dropped it on his page, but I hadn't listened to it yet.
it ain't nothing like no like Duval joint.
Nah, it ain't.
yeah, I have no wild predictions, man. I don't know.
That's it then. We out of here.
Oh, I might
We
get
wrap.
cuffed this summer. That's another wild prediction.
Wow.
You say you might get cuffed? Tell us more. Tell us more, Sterling.
Nah, that's just a prediction.
Nah.
Is that a wild prediction or is that a prediction?
It's a wild prediction.
Nah.
Alright.
He gonna send that clip to the Instagram story. Don't worry about it. We gonna
Nah.
find out.
I ain't gonna be there.
Straight up.
I'm not gonna be here.
Hey, shout out to Dion, man, for Evermore's Barbershop. Y'all at the crib, pull up on my dog. Every time I see him, he in there cutting somebody, all hours of the night.
Even if you bald, get that wave over that weave.
Ah,
Let my man hook you up.
get that non-disclosure form signed, because if you find out, you're on your head.
On your head like that wig.
On your head.
For shoot, man. Appreciate y'all for listening again, man. This is actually a first. We wrapped before 10 o'clock. I don't even know how long this episode gonna be, but appreciate y'all listening. And once again, whatever QB saying at the end.
Yeah, drop the beat, DJ.